What is going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we are going to be talking about, once again, the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Jimmy Butler situation. Now, I feel like many people would have expected, that something would have been done by now, a trade, something, but now reports are coming out that Jimmy Butler will most likely be expected to play in the season opener with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this is just a huge shock considering what has been happening. Now, of course, I'll recap up with directly what's happened in the situation of so far, which is the fact that Jimmy Butler's reportedly been calling out teammates, saying the fact that they just don't care enough, in particular Carlton Towns and Andrew Wiggins. Now, in this case, I have to sit here and say, also, he mentioned the fact that they cannot win without him. They need him. Now, of course, he said it in a little bit different words, but that was the main context of what he was trying to say there. And with that, we do have to really look at this. Now, as I mentioned before, the Minnesota Timberwolves were the number 3 seed in the Western Conference until Jimmy Butler went down with a torn meniscus. Now, coming off of that, he rushed back to make sure that that was cut and just re-healed over that time. Once he came back, the Timberwolves were out of the playoffs, and they had to make a very frantic run for the playoffs. Now, they didn't obviously run out just as great as they were running as the number 3 seed when he came back, but when he came back, they did end up making it to the 8th seed, going down to the final game of the entire season. So this does show the fact that Jimmy Butler was a huge part of that team. And during this, I know it's preseason, I don't really watch preseason or anything like that or take it with any seriousness, but they were considered the worst defense in the preseason with their worst ranking of defensive efficiency. So with that, we do know the fact that Andrew Wiggins is not a great defender, and Carlton Towns is a below standard defensive player for what we would expect from him. And with that, with his playoff performances at the beginning, we saw very much things that we expected much more than just what he had done, and in very much many cases. The real question that I do have here, and I'm going to leave you guys up to answering the question as well, but do you think the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves are actually willing to keep Jimmy Butler for the entire season, not make a trade, and just keep him for the entire season and ride it out with him? We already know what Tom Thibodeau's thoughts of this is. The whole reason why he brought Jimmy Butler there was because of the fact that he didn't feel the same reason that Jimmy Butler is calling them out, which is the fact that he doesn't feel that they're serious enough about winning. And with a team like that, you really have to wonder about it. Many people in the NBA say that Andrew Wiggins is fighting just to get numbers and just playing for number reasons instead of actually playing to actually get better or to improve or win the game. Now, he's not improved efficiency-wise with a better team, which is very rare to see with many of these teams forming up. So it's very much questionable on this, and in the situation that it is, Jimmy Butler wanted max money, and seeing the fact that Andrew Wiggins and Carlton Towns got max money and he feels they have not lived up to the standards for that, is obviously asking to go away to another team where he can build up for his own. Now, obviously, Tom Thibodeau does not want to remove Jimmy Butler for multiple reasons. One being the fact that he's the GM and coach of the team, therefore a bad move of getting Jimmy Butler could lead to a firing of him. We all know the fact that right now, I have to say that this is the final year for Tom Thibodeau as far as depending on their success. If they're not successful this year, we could be looking at this being the last year of Tom Thibodeau with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if he does good, obviously they'll keep him, but it's very much riding on this, and I feel like if they end up trading him and they don't end up making the playoffs, it's going to be very bad, especially if they don't get much in return for him, which is why they have not traded him away. Now, Jimmy Butler has decreased his stock value, which many people are very much questioning in the media, which I really don't get. Obviously, yes, if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, you don't want him to go out there and to do this, but Jimmy Butler himself has no problem with ruining his value for a trade, as he doesn't have to go anywhere. He chose the 3 teams he would be willing to stay with, which are, like I mentioned in previous videos, are teams that can clear out cap space, have one and done players basically on their contracts. Players they can remove from the salary cap and can offer him still the max money. But you also will have other players that will also see. But in many ways, I'm not sure really about the situation. It's very just strange. I think the fact that this is just way different from anything we've ever seen before, especially with things such as this. But guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on, do you think the fact that they're going to end up trading Jimmy Butler, or do you think they're going to keep him out and really take a chance like that he'll just walk away? But anyways, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on that. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you leave a like and subscribe to become the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.